What? What? That's what they say. Oh. Are you sure about that? For real? What is it? Why? Well, whatever. All right. Let me make sure everything's working this time. Make sure I actually have a stream that's working, because last time it did not go great. Let me make sure everything's coming through this time. Says I'm live. I'm looking over here. I want to hear. Oh, looks like we're doing better this time. I want to make sure everyone that wants to be here can. We're not going to get a ton of viewers. That's okay. We're just going to be looking through this book anyway. No big deal. No big deal at all. Set up a couple things right quick. It's funny. LOL. There we go. A little bit more legible. I'll just put that right here. Should be okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So, pretty simple idea for this stream here. We're going to be looking at the Gen Con lookbook that just came out like today. If you don't know, Gen Con is a tabletop gaming convention. It's the biggest one in North America, and it's take place in Indianapolis, Indiana. It'll start on August 31st. Sorry, July 31st, and we'll go all the way through August 3rd. I'll be there from the 30th through the 4th. We're leaving on the 30th and driving back on the 4th. It is a big time. And they put out a bunch of promotional material ahead of the convention itself. So this is going to be looking through the lookbook. The lookbook is going to have some items that are going to be for sale, usually like partnered items, people who have partnered with Gen Con to produce some items. As well as, I think, some sponsored games. So, the bigger publishers will pay Gen Con to list their games in this lookbook. Just gives people something a little to get a little excited about. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to have a good time with it. And like I said, this won't be a very long stream or anything like that. It will be pretty short, I think. I just realized that my Spotify is not picking up my music, so let me fix that real quick. How about now? There we go. That doesn't look like it's too loud, so I'm going to go with it being okay. So we're going to go ahead and look through this book. We're going to start with, obviously, page 1. I'll do this. Maybe it's not going to let me navigate, is it? I'll do this. That'll work. So looking at the licensed products, the Spell Dice has a 2025 D20 dice set. Looks like it's 3 different D20s. Let's look at what we got. There's a Brat Summer. I'm assuming that's the Charlie album reference. Liquid Core green die. There's this dark red gold inked die. I'm assuming that's the Genevieve die. Genevieve being the mascot for Gen Con. And then there's the Loot-inspired copper inked black core D20. And they're going to be at the Dispel Dice booth 2741. There's the Oh Christmas Geek Baby Genevieve Holiday Ornament. They do one of these every year. I did not buy one. No, I did buy one last year, I think, as a gift for my stepmom. They're always little Jennies in different poses, and they're very cute, hand-painted. And I believe they're really fragile, and they're also in a slightly high demand. So if you're interested in something like that, you have to go to their booth and get a ticket from them, which will let you come back later and actually purchase the item. There's the My Little Demon exclusive 2025 limited edition squishy Genevieve plush. It's a little plush, and it's very squishy. It's probably got those those beans in them. I'm not really sure how to describe them. They're not. I think it's supposed to emulate the idea of a Squishmallow, but not quite get there 100%. And then there's this Cool Stuff.Inc. play mat that's featuring art of Genevieve and the Gen Con logo and a starry background. If you're into card games, this is something you might like. I don't play a ton of card games, just some Magic every now and then. Next page. Some more licensed products. There's the Crystal Cast 2025 Collector's Dice Set. This is one of the dice sets that people collect from Gen Con. This is the one that has the Crystal Cast logo on the D6 there. So we got something like that. There's this Geek Orthodox Gen Con 2025 exclusive stained glass window cling, so something you could put on a window and look a little bit like stained glass, and again that features art of Genevieve. There's the Great American Gothic and drinkware sets. They have a flask, a goblet, and a tankard. I like these guys. I think they make cool stuff. I take a little bit of I'm not even sure how to phrase that. They did something I don't like, which is they took some art that they had already had of their their items for sale. So they already took like promotional pictures for them, and posted like some AI generated art based off of that image into the Fans of Gen Con Facebook page. And I think I called them on it, and it was taken down minutes later and replaced with like the actual image. If you already have the image and it looks nice, I don't really see the point in like making an AI image of that. I don't really like AI for creative pursuits anyway, and that just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. But I do think their stuff is very nice. Got these like little leather pieces with dice embedded in them, these printed flasks. I think it looks very nice. They just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Some more licensed products. These are the ones that I'm actually a big fan of. These fan roll by Metallic Dice Games. They usually do 2 of these. There's like an inclusion set and then a liquid core set. The liquid core set this year is the Eye of Genevieve. I have one that is just like a neon liquid core, and I have another. I think I have another set of these. Let me turn around and see if I remember what they were. Yeah, so there's I had the last year I got these like glow in the dark or glow under black light fluorescent ones, and the year before that they were like a weird metallic-y swirly liquid core set. My friend got one the year he went with me, and they had like little tiny embedded dragons in them, and that was very cool. So they have the Eye of Genevieve this time. So it's got a dragon's eye in it with a moving eyeball. So if you roll the die, it's going to show you the eye on whatever face is up. Then they have this other inclusion set that apparently has a detailed black dragon infused in every die. Fanroll also does these little tiny metal dies, and each of the faces will say GENCON, and then I think an exclamation point for the for one of the die, so it spells Gen Con. There's the Fanroll Black Light Dice Tray. This one's featuring some dragon eye art, and has little black lights embedded into the sides, so that if you have something that is fluorescent reactive, you can roll them in there and it'll show that detail off. Then they have these other little I'm sorry, I was wrong. The metal D20 blind pack is just going to be metal D20s. This little mini Gen Con dice set is the one that's free with purchase, and where it has the face that spell Gen Con out on them. Sorry about that. I had them mixed up for a second. I see a little bag, and I just kind of assume. Some more licensed products. Dryad Tea is making Scoundrels Marked Tea. Let's see. What are the tasting notes on that? Bold black and oolong tea blended layered with bright lemon and brooding spices. Zesty citrus notes tease the senses, while dark smoldering spices linger beneath the surface, ready to surprise you. I like tea a lot, so I'll probably pick up something like that. Norse Foundry, big dice supplier, has these glow-in-the-dark premium metal dice. Very obvious what they do there. All the faces are going to say Gen Con on them on the highest digit, the glow-in-the-dark, very obviously. Gatekeeper Games has another Gen Con inclusion dice set this time. Let's see. The first is Genevieve red with real metal dragon scales inside, resting upon her loot. The second is a wormling purple with Genevieve's unhatched dragon eggs inside, warming upon a bed of golden loot. So one's got dragon scales, one's got little eggs, one's red, one's purple. Okay, so this is going to move on into the officially licensed merchandise section. Got 2 t-shirts here on the first page, and usually all of Roll-A-Crit's shirts come in either a traditional or like a femme cut. The World Tour 2025 shirt shows the different locations of where Gen Con has taken place. As you can see, from 2003 to 2025, it's been in Indianapolis, Indiana, except for the 1 year it was online because of the big global health thing that happened. So there was that. There's the Gen Con 2025 X Hydro 74 Genevieve Emblem Unisex T-shirt, which is, I imagine, like a content creator. I'm not sure who Hydro 74 is. But it's got this little cool Genevieve on the front with the Gen Con logo at the bottom. It's like that's cool. Oh, and the Gen Con 2025 World Tour shirt has like a little, I don't want to say little, but it has Gen Con a Genevieve here or some dragon, and probably not Genevieve. Genevieve is traditionally red, but a big dragon fighting our hero here, and on the back the same dragon looking over the dates of the conventions past. I liked this shirt a lot. This the Great Dragon Wave Off Gen Con, inspired by the Wave Off Kanagawa art. So there's a little dragon here in the waves, several little dragons in the waves, and then the Gen Con logo. I like this shirt a lot. I might pick this up, to be honest. There's the Rainbow Retro Pride Gen Con 2025 Raglan t-shirt. I don't like Raglan t-shirts very much. It's the weird sleeve thing. It's like I would either want a long sleeve or a short sleeve. I don't want something in the middle. And then they have the Retro Pride Gen Con 2025 pin. Showing out Pride for Gen Con is good. It's a good thing. So this is going to be the collectible Genevieve pin. It'll have these little danglies. It kind of looks like it's set up like a mobile, honestly, like you'd put over like a baby's crib or something. I think it's cute. The art is very simple and childlike, and I like it a lot. I might pick this up. This one's neat. This is little capsules that have a small, polyhedral dice set in there. Those are really neat. Put that on your keychain. You can always kind of have dice on you wherever you go. It's also a partnership with Hydra 74. Again, there's the pen design, but on a t-shirt this time. This one is saying it's on a FEM t-shirt, so maybe it's only on a FEM t-shirt, but who's to say? Won't know until we actually get there. There's these, cool, that's actually sweet. These polyhedral dice earring studs. If your ears are pierced, you can get D20, D12, whatever you want as a stud. There's a different pin, the 2025 year pin. They always do two pins. There's like the one on the previous page, this one here, and then there's also like a silver one that's supposed to show the year. I collect a lot of pins, so who's to say I may get both. The traditional like dragon badge wallet, these are good, especially this year, because I think like this year the badge quality has kind of gone down. When I got the badge in the mail, I felt the thinness of the plastic, and I was like, "Wow, this is pretty rough. If I put this on a traditional lanyard, I'd be afraid it snapped." I don't have this badge wallet. I bought one off of Etsy that I like a lot. It also gives you the ability to show off some enamel pins at the top section and puts your badge safe down there. It's got a pocket on the back for like your phone or your wallet or whatever you got there, your event tickets, sure. So that's what I'll be using. But this is still a good pickup for $15. The Distressed Gen Con University t-shirt, I like this a lot. I think this art is very fun. I just think it's something you see a lot of, but people are looking around and like, okay, cool. What college you go to? Gen Con? What the hell is that? So that's neat. I have the Gen Con like college style sweatshirt. I don't wear it very often. I think I've discovered I'm not really a sweatshirt person. But this is probably not something I'm going to pick up. And let's get into some of the sponsored products. So these are going to be from, a lot of the big publishers are going to be able to show you stuff like this. So Avalon Hill is showing off Cosmo Lancer. Take to the stars as a freelance space photographer in this galactic reimagining of, I can't say that person's name, it's Reiner Knizias, that's what I'm going to go with, Kingdoms. Place photo ops tiles, hazard tiles, and imaging devices to capture the most lucrative photos of space phenomena. Stay alert for our cosmic dangers and sabotage your shots. Earn the most interstellar credits to win. I'm not sure what style game that is. I've not heard of it. Hasbro's got Beat the Heat. It's going to be a very simple strategy card game about scoring low in each fast-paced round. You'll play numbers of cards on 104 rows, play the 6th card in a row, and you'll have to take the first 5 cards and all the points that come with them. So you want to score low in that game. Chip Theory Games is showing off The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. The award-winning Epic makes its Gen Con debut, featuring a massively replayable 3-session campaign, unrivaled character customization, and innovative dice-driven combat. Chip Theory takes on the Elder Scrolls universe is unlike anything you've experienced. Grab the new Chef Class expansion, releasing exclusively at Gen Con as well. Gen Con does a lot of these like exclusives, but eventually they all become not exclusive anymore. What else we got? Getting to the end of this book here. This is page 10. Okay, that's interesting. IKEA is showing off a gaming chair. Loop. Lopadabana. That's probably not how you say that. I'm not Swedish. This gaming chair helps you play at the top of your game. You can adjust the headrest and seat height to enjoy comfortable support while you are playing your favorite game. And then there's this is a rolling chair. And there's the inflatable gaming lounge chair, Dran Bowl, I'm guessing. You can easily and quickly create your own comfortable gaming spot in just a few minutes. Air pump is included. That's good, because otherwise you would be fucked. Upper Deck is showing off Rush of Icor is the new TCG designed to be played with others. Innovates TCG team matches so it can be played with up to 3v3, introducing a new card overlay mechanic called Infusion Cards, which creates 27 to 40 combinations in the Shattered Chaos set alone. I'm not sure. I'm not a big TCG guy. Like I said, I just do a little bit of Magic and then to collect Pokemon cards and such. Slugfest is showing off Positano. Construct buildings of scenic views on a 3D cliffside board. Each round you'll compete in simultaneous bidding for multiple resources, then build on what you've drafted. Playing carefully though, because only blocks with a clear view of the sea will score points at the end of the game. Could be like an engine building game from the sound of it. Maybe could be a Euro game. Who's to say? I'd have to look into it. Legends Story Studios is showing off Smash Palace. This is like a board game based on Flesh and Blood. It brings multiplayer melee to Flesh and Blood like never before, and it's as simple as crack shuffle play. You crack 3 packs, remove the last 3 cards from each pack, shuffle the rest, and play. The event deck adds unpredictable twists when the arena shifts with each draw. Only the sharpest fighters survive. I'm guessing that it's a game. I'm guessing it's a game based on Flesh and Blood and not actually Flesh and Blood. I've never played Flesh and Blood, so I'm not 100% on that one. Van Ryder showing off a Final Girl expansion, Bad Times at the Buddyland. Looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff. For years, Billy Beard his animatronic buddies, entertain kids and adults. Now he's out to kill you and anyone else in his path. Buddyland might look a little run down, but to use tokens to activate the machines, be sure to call and book your party today. Requires the Final Girl core box, obviously. I've never played Final Girl. I've always been interested in it, but it just seems so expensive to actually do because you need the core box, and then anytime you want to play a different game, you have to buy these little expansions. And I'm not sure how replayable they are. I'd have to look into that. Polymorph Toys, Polymorph Toys is showing off the Owlbear Cub pet toy. No doubt this is coming off the heels of Baldur's Gate 3. They're not being officially licensed. The 11-inch Ultra Soft plush has floppy corduroy legs and a hidden squeaker for playful chaos, bringing magical fun and cozy companionship to every pup's fantasy adventures. Sweet. My dog would tear through this in a heartbeat, so I will not be purchasing this. And I am not interested in having it for myself. And then we're on the back of the page. That was it. That was the whole lookbook. I think sometime, most likely next week, the program is going to drop, so we can go through that as well, just so I cover all my bases for the stream. As of Monday this week, so a couple days ago at this point, the hotel block is closed. If you are going to buy a hotel at this point, you're going to have to go out of block. There were a lot of rooms in the hotel block that did not sell before it closed. Those soon I assume those rooms are being sent back to the hotels for them to list out of block, so not a huge big deal there. You should still be able to find a room. You're not going to be able to get the Gen Con rate, so everything downtown is going to be very expensive, and even within the 5-mile radius, things might be a little overpriced. But if you're willing to drive or take an Uber in, you can still find plenty of stuff in that range. Speaking of which, if you are planning on going and you haven't bought your badge yet, you should probably do that pretty soon. They've announced that they're going to stop selling badges on Friday at noon Eastern time, and they're going to call that a sellout. Obviously, selling out is not like they have a target number that they're trying to hit. A lot of things depend on what the fire marshal says, occupancy limits and such. So if you will not be able to buy a 4-day badge or a Saturday badge after noon Eastern time on Friday, July 18th. So if you're going to go and you're sure you want to go either Saturday or all 4 days, you should definitely go ahead and get a badge now. They've released a bunch of stuff. They just released today the the block party map, though we've known who's going to be at the block party for about a week now. But they're showing a bunch of different food trucks and the vendors that are going to be in the parking lot next to that, in between the convention center and the Lucas Oil Stadium. A lot of the staples are returning. A lot of the staple food trucks are not coming back either. They kind of rotate people out. What's different this year is that all of the food trucks are going to be there the entire time. They aren't going to do a shift schedule or anything like that. I'm not sure how the food truck vendors feel about that. I'm sure they'd like a break at some point. But that's between them and Gen Con management. I'm not going to interfere with that at all. Let's see. Trying to think. Sun King Brewery has made an apple cider this year for their official beer. Finally, a beer that I would actually think is appropriate for a hot summer day in Indiana. Not a strange cinnamon stout or what was it, a lacto sour last year. It's just, I'm sure it's fine. I did not care for it very much. I'm sure someone liked it, but it's just not the beer you think of having on a hot summer day. The one before that was Hive Mind, or it was like a, what was it? It was honey infused somehow. It was very good. That one was actually pretty sweet. I'm not sure what it was before that. I know that I can't remember the name of the winery ever. They have an exclusive Gen Con beer this year. Something that's a little bit different from last year that I'm happy they did. Sodexo, kind of the food vendor for the ICC, does not have any food trucks this year. Instead, they have a tent in the block party area where they're selling their stuff, and it should be clearly labeled. I just think it was kind of underhanded what they did last year. They had food trucks out and didn't label themselves as Sodexo, so it's like they're trying to take a cut of the money from the other food trucks. I just think that's kind of scummy. I'm totally fine if they want to sell food. I just think that they should label themselves as such, because a lot of people had the impression that they were like smaller independent food trucks, but yeah, whatever. What was the other thing? Oh, if you bought a Gen Con collectible cup ever, I believe, if you bring that back this year, they are letting you have a $2 refills on for that cup for any old of the Gen Con collectible cups, not the ones that were sold through Wild Bills, the ones that were sold by Gen Con proper, the ones that you can get filled in the Lucas Oil Stadium or at the stands in the ICC. If you have any old Gen Con collectible cup, you can cash in on the $2 refills for the entire event. I imagine that has to do with a lot of the backlash last year about the cups being kind of shitty. If you rub them too hard with the side of your finger, they would scratch. I cannot imagine they would have ever held up in a dishwasher well. But we have both of ours. The only bad part is that they didn't come with lids. I'm assuming there will be standard size lids that we can use the disposable plastic ones anyway. So we'll be taking those, and we'll be getting our fill of soda as much as we can to make it worth it. Let's see. I don't really think there's much else to go over. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you guys have a good time with it. We'll go over the program when that comes out, and I'll come back if there's any major updates or anything. My name's Kelvy, and I'll see you later.